just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk. 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 Just wanna hit the floor.
Yo, 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 what is up, everyone? Happy Monday! Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's doing very, very well. Without any further ado, let's get my fat head on the screen and see how we are looking today. Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. Let me turn this down a small bit. I can't even hear myself. There we go. Hope everyone's doing well on this fine Monday. It's a bank holiday where I am. What way is this camera set up? There we go. That's a little bit better. I'm good. Put away those guns. It's actually kind of hot here. My man, Matt, with the repost. Let's go. Also feel like the camera isn't centered. It's okay. We'll figure these things out. What's up, Rod? We're Rod in the chat. We got a command for Rod. I don't think you're gonna see it though, because you're on X. We have that command on. Still wrong. So the command, the command should just read this: follow Rod on X. Boom, and then not x.com crypto Rod. Should be x.com. Not x.com crypto Rod with plus 20. Just this. That should be the command. Just that. And for all future commands, that should be the way it looks. Who's Rod? Rod is a Chad. Wet hair follows. That's true. Just got out of what's it called again? What's that thing called where you wash yourself? Crypto traders don't use it often. Shower. We scrubbed. We scrubbed up. You know, it was that time of the week. That time of the week. What's up, Chevsked? How we doing? First time in the chat. Yes, exactly. Is that Chevsked from... Oh, it is from Discord. What is up, Marquise? What is up, Bulla Felix? Drink some water. You got it. Happy Monday. Yes, happy Monday, sis. What's up, Nico? Mi hermano. ¿Cómo está? Didn't realize I was tuning in for a gun show. How we doing, Chefsked? You good? Good to hear it. There we go. Look at that. Thank you, sis. What's up, Kulhanza? Hello from Toronto. Not Toronto, then. Toronto. Do you always stream on YouTube? No. I'm trying to push. I don't know. I'll push it until I get copyright banned. That's another thing to consider. Is the market open today? I believe so, yeah. London ain't. What's up, Veslin? Is it a bank holiday in London too? 4-day weekend. No, in the US it's not a bank holiday today. US markets are open today, is what I understand. US markets. Huh. Our market's open today. That's what I'm asking. My understanding was that they were. If you look at the holidays for U.S. markets, they don't include Monday the 6th of April. If U.S. is closed, I don't believe so. In Ireland, it's a bank holiday. Don't believe it's a bank holiday in America. Yeah, New York is open, London is closed. There you go. What's up, Neil? Toronto. There we go. Does the algorithm care for YouTube? We just posted a YouTube video. And now I'm streaming on YouTube. That can't be good for the algo, right? Someone tell me. I should be posting videos on days that I don't stream on YouTube, right? That's the way it seems to me. Candle poll. It's not actually a poll, it's a prediction. You guys 10 minutes, boom. Prediction. Can we look into that? I feel like that's something that there should be an obvious answer for online, right? Whether or not it's bad for the algorithm. If we just posted a video on YouTube, whether it's bad for the algorithm to also be streaming within 30 minutes of that post, because YouTube, if the YouTube algorithm works like the X algorithm, then it's going to penalize you for posting too frequently, right? Does that make sense? And also, anyone watching the stream isn't going to watch my new video. You have a feeling ceasefire will be announced soon? Is that a ball tingle? Balls tingling? Yeah, I don't know. My gut says you don't post a video. Yeah, the video has 12 views. I think, Marquise, let's remove it, please, and post it tomorrow. Views will be less. Yeah, I think so. Let's only post on days I'm not streaming. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, just figuring things out. YouTube, man, I fucking hate it. I genuinely hate YouTube as a creator. I think it's just something I'm not good at. I'm not good at, and I don't enjoy it, but probably the only side of content creation that I don't really enjoy. I way prefer streaming. Streaming is a lot more fun than video creation, but it's a necessary evil. And on that note, we're going to get into the charts. It's not bad for the algorithm. Fuck algorithms. What's up, Jordy? Yeah, I don't know. You're about to join Chroma Trading this week. My worry is that the market is dead right now and I won't get my investment back. Well, the question I asked you there is what investment are you talking about? If you're saying that I want to join and I want to do copy trades and I want to entry TPSL and hopefully I'll make my membership back and I can copy trade these guys to financial freedom, I would say don't. Don't bother. Even though the boys killed it last month, I just think you're missing out on 80% of the value proposition of what we're doing. Again, that's assuming your investment is purely in monetary terms, purely in fiscal terms. But if you're saying your investment is in you becoming a better trader, and you becoming a better analyst, better at executing your trades, better at managing your risk, better at managing your emotions, better at managing your psychology. A little bit more broad of an approach than just will I get my membership paid back within a month? What arc is this tank top arc? It's called Summertime in Ireland. Now, I'm not even saying that it's warm, because it's not really, but my house is warm. Do you think Farcoin spot is a good buy? We covered Farcoin on the last stream. The spot, yeah, it's like you're looking at things way differently if you're buying spot here than if you're lever longing. But I don't know, man. I think with all these coins, the thesis is basically, will there be an alt season, right? You can't get 10 million views on a Zach XBT case on YouTube. That's true. Did I get 10 million? I got 2 million for sure, or 1.8. Yo, what's up, Victor? Is that the famous Victor? OX Victor. I think it is. Oh, it is. Look at that. Sizz, we need a new command. Command is Victor with a K. That should be it. Boys, shout out the man, the myth, the legend, Victor. Let me see if I can find our photo. Our lover boy photo that we took in romantic Singapore. It's Victor. Oh yeah, look at this. Let me pull it up, Jamie. This is what he looks like as well. So I'm actually doxing his face as well. He was also wearing the frog hat. But yeah, we took this mid-romantic dinner overlooking the you know, the scenic vista of you know, the 69th floor of some nameless Singapore skyscraper. Here to pay my respects to the GOAT. Too kind. Yo, what's up, Link? Good to see you, bro. Remember the 200,000 Vacheron overseas we bought each other after the date? I do. It's etched into my memory, actually. How could I forget? Yo, what's up, Lars? Good to see you, bro. Praise Allah. Yeah, well, I think we're all praising Allah after the pump we got. And I say that with nothing but respect. But it is funny that Trump posting that was quite literally the market bottom. What did we get after that? Yeah, we basically got a 5-point-something% pump. Around 5% pump. Not bad. Quite funny, actually. The chart that I want to focus on today is BTC on the H4. Because I think it's very interesting range-bound mechanics, range-bound schematics, and also this ascending channel. It's so fucking similar to what we got back in November, December, January, but we will catch up. There was a polymarket bet with 99-1 that Trump would mention Allah. I saw that. That one's hard to believe that there were any insiders. Guys were like, oh, more insiders trading. I think I don't think Trump shared that one with his cabinet. I'll put it that way. Hey, yeah, guys, tomorrow I'm gonna tweet. I think that was spur of the moment. I'm starting to think Baron just has access to his account. Yeah, probably. Disciple Benji, if you have questions though, feel free to hit me up. Victor's tick trade videos were so good. Yeah, Victor is the tick trade GOAT. That's how I came to know about him. Dump it, bro, says Rod. I see they're planning to crime Pippin again. No, they're not, are they? Shit is minus 26% today. I don't know, man. What a chart. It's funny because this thing, even just in the last week, has had like a full market cycle. From the bottom to the top here, this is almost 2x in a week. Minus 65%, plus 85%, and minus 35%. And this is all just since last Wednesday. Or sorry, 2 Wednesdays ago. Trump advisors after seeing that post. Yeah, more people need to vote. Oh, more people need to vote in the prediction. The thing is... Let me pull it up. There's only a minute left. And so far there are only 5,000 florins. We're waiting for a whale to come in. The thing is, the florin economy has been... We're in a florin bear market. Because I believe we had a pretty big redistribution of florins last week. What's up, Zama? Yo, what's up, Monista Man? Oil pumpu. Yeah, I saw that. Oil pumpu, yes. That's all I have to say about oil pumpu. How fucking aesthetic are these charts, by the way? I for whatever reason, I just haven't been using, like, ever, these kind of line charts, but they are very visually pleasing. Not as accurate. I'll put it that way. Not as accurate as actual candlestick charts. Oh, we got a big push. Got a big push in the end. We're up to about 40k. Warhammer 40k. Florus Florens. GG. Okay. So now we know what we're dealing with at least. Let's go low time frame. Market open in well, the market just opened. I was about to say in 10 seconds, but no. That is the market open, assuming of course that New York is open today, which is, I believe, what we're basing this on. I think it is. I think I looked at that up last night. Represent more than 80% of the. You represent more than 80% of the bearish coins. There you go. New York is open. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I'm basing this on. You nibbled some at 28 million just for a gamble. You nibbled some at 28 million. So do you mean Pippin? Sorry, you bought Pippin down here. Was it 28 million market cap? I guess it was, huh? Because it was like, it was 600 or 700 million just a few weeks ago, actually. Yeah, 900 million, actually. Almost a billion, which is hilarious. But, you know, not surprising at all. I feel like we look at this coin every time we stream, so I won't dwell on it any longer. This PA is funky, yeah. It certainly is. Certainly is. Nibbled some. I love that. Nibbled some at 28 million. I didn't want to buy at 900 million, but I want to buy at 28 million. Do I think it goes up or down? We are going to look in now. The tank top arc. You think bullish today? Okay, okay. I'm not convinced. Oh yeah, how did the VVV thing work out? So VVV is interesting because we're getting exactly what I spoke about. Coinbase markets? Oh. What's the general vibe on Coinbase, by the way? I would love to know among you guys. You know what? I'll go one further. What's the general vibe? Let's say Coinbase and Kraken. I would love to know what your opinions, what your collective opinion is on both Coinbase and Kraken. Because, you know, you guys are mostly perps traders. I'm mostly a perp trader. And I guess those exchanges don't exactly have reputations as being perp trading exchanges. Mostly spot. Coinbase is the exchange where, you know, feels like that's where your aunt Gladys goes to buy her BTC, right? Feels safe to hold cash in them. Yeah, I like that. On-ramp, Lars, yes. I actually use Kraken for all of my on-ramp and off-ramp. Now, thankfully, I haven't had to do much of either recently. But yeah, back in the day, I used to use Kraken quite a lot. Coinbase and Kraken about to ramp up on marketing. Yes, that's the point I'm making here. We're getting proposals, indecent proposals, Victor, coming my way. Anyone know that scene in classic Simpsons where Krusty the Clown is talking about working with Camp Krusty, you know? He says they drove a truck full of money right up to my house. That's how it feels, you know. We're the hot girl at the school dance. They all still behind Binance and Bybit in terms of perps. Yes, I don't think that's really in question. But I guess that's the bridge that they're attempting to gap, right? It's a distributor's market. Make them know your worth. You know it. Girl, you know it. Do we dump or pump on New York Open? I mean, that's the question of the day, isn't it? I thought we would get more volatility, actually. Given the weekend that we've had. Given the weekend that we've had. Remember what Trump said just yesterday. But this is the chart that has my attention. We're gonna look at this very soon. You can see, really, I've been working hard on the labels here. We have one label and it very helpfully says channel. Someone tuning in is gonna be like, this guy is an idiot. And they wouldn't be wrong. Coinbase is not cheap and really annoying with money tracking. Kraken is better than Coinbase. Yes. Phantom is adding direct deposit. Might skip Coinbase. Phantom is adding direct deposit. Phantom wallet. Direct deposit from bank? Is that what you mean by that? Direct deposit from bank account? But yes, Coinbase and Kraken making a push into the derivatives market. You're really interested in Hyperliquid right now. I think people have been interested in Hyperliquid for over a year and a half. That's interesting what Victor says. They're trying to survive hyper-liquidization. That's an interesting way of putting it. Because in my head, it was more like competition from a variety of factors, but I guess you can distill the essence of that competition into into one exchange. Even the perp deck space. I mean, it's easy to. I remember being. Well, I mean, this is like a month ago, saying how bullish I was on the future of the perp decks meta and the perp deck space, and being like confused that Paradex airdrop did not go, or the Paradex TG did not go well, and like Lighter was down only after TG. But actually, when you think about it, it might not necessarily be that the perp dex meta is the bullish thing. It might just be that fucking Hyperliquid is the the bullish component of that quote unquote meta, right? LIT. I still like LIT, by the way, for a long-term buy, but the chart looks terrible. Shocking. Shocking, as we say. Looks shocking. What's up, Center? You love the UI of Bybit? Yes. How we doing, big dog? I'm doing well. Wait for your entry. Yes, always do. Lighter also interesting because they integrated with Telegram. They're going for a CFTC license in the US. Yeah, I think so. I mean, even Hyperliquid also had like a kind of an inauspicious start, if people remember that. Let's get a clean Hyperliquid chart. KuCoin maybe? Yeah. Like, I would say that this chart is not like the best looking chart you're ever gonna bid, right? You can even go one back here. That looks like dog shit. Right? That, I remember at the time that looked like dog shit. You guys remember the Hyperliquid long I got stopped out of? Literally my stops were below 10 and I got hunted. Evil market makers. Haven't tried Aster, any use. Who has tried Aster? Who has traded on Aster? That's an open question. Who has traded on Aster? That's a genuine question. Who here has traded on Aster? It started at $3. That's a good point. That's a good point. Hype on a Hyperliquid. That's a good point. Yeah. I think my point kind of still stands, though. Maybe not quite to the same extent, but I still don't think that that chart looks particularly good. Now, not as bad, for sure. Not as bad as LIT. But market conditions are different as well, you know? Yeah. This is similar, but we're missing one crucial element here, which is this. This, right? You use Aster for a month. Do we change our plans on hype? Unfortunately, no. I would love to just top blast hype here, but I can't. Because I do think that we trade lower. I think the entire market trades lower later in the year. I think that the low is not in. I think that people buying here are going to be disappointed. I have a thesis on that I've explained here a number of times before. But yeah, my hope is that, I mean, Hyperliquid is easily the alt that I am most interested in accumulating. And you guys remember we got front ran by like 15% on our previous buys. 20 orders, which is tilting. Not really tilting, but... So my hope is that when BTC goes to 40k, which is kind of like the hinge point of that thesis, is that it'll drag even strong alts down with it. So Hyperliquid would need to go minus 55% from current price levels, which seems audacious. It seems unrealistic, but in my experience, and this is something I've spoken about before. By the way, I love this. Thank you, TradingView, for fucking listening for once and giving us more options on the long short tools. Because I turn almost everything off. Who the fuck needs any of that bullshit? You just need the aura amount. Right? Thank you. Thank you for listening. Turn all this dog shit off. Thank you. So much fucking cleaner. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I feel like I've explained this before, but like in this cycle so far, anytime I've been greedy, anytime I've been a greedy Gary with my entries, right? When it comes to like spot alts, I've always been vindicated. I remember like last year, like Say ripping. And everyone's like, bro, you're gonna get left behind. You're gonna get fucking. You're gonna get now Tau is another example. Guys like, bro, you need to start top blasting. You're not gonna get your entry. Man, I'm just looking at it. That was back here. That was January. No, it wasn't. Wait. Was it here? Was it really November? You know what? I can't remember. Lorenzo Felix, pump on the H4. My point is that, yeah, I think with these alts, man, it's like, I think you can be a greedy guzzler. Pick low targets. Pick low targets and like accept in your mind that you just might never get them. But if you do get them, it's like a bonus. That's the way I feel. It is a tune. It is a tune. Cosmos narrative failed all ecosystems. Adam, Say, Tia, and Dime. Dime, I remember Ansem shilling Dime. That was kind of back before, maybe 2023, back before I like really knew how to parse big accounts shilling things. I remember getting absolutely destroyed, longing that. You just see it with a, yeah, big upgrade. Funnily enough, I talked to the TradingView account. I don't know who runs it. In DMs. I feel so bad whoever's running that account. I'm always so fucking sassy. I'm always so sassy and pissed off because I only go to them when there's a feature that's bugging me. I'm like, sorry, I don't consider myself a rude person. Let me qualify what I'm about to say by that. But I feel like I'm exceptionally rude to TradingView. Sorry, let me share one of the... Please provide an option to toggle the huge replay in the middle of the screen in replay mode. Literally no one wants this feature. And they responded very, very nicely, very politely. Actually, we have also had responses from users who love it. Please make this searchable. Literally everyone in my community asking for it. I also asked them for TradingView Premium. And they gave it to me. Happy days. So privileged. Honestly, yeah. You can tell a lot. You know that old saying, you can tell a lot about your date by how they treat the waiting staff? You can tell a lot about your streamer by how he treats TradingView and DMs. Direct deposit from job or bank transfer. Direct deposit from job. So you can ask your job to pay a crypto wallet? Huh. Or sorry. You mean because it's on-ramp, so it's paying a bank account, right? But a bank account that's on Phantom. Interesting. Why hate on TradingView? No, I don't hate him. I love him. To be honest, TradingView, it's like they're responsible for, how do I put this in a non-wishy-washy way? Like, they have put trading tools, they effectively, in the last decade, they have made it so that the average punter with an internet connection can analyze the markets. Whereas, let's say in, I don't know when TradingView launched. I want to say 2011. Let me look that up. TradingView. Oh, founded in 2011. I don't know why that was in my head, but yes. Let's say before that, it's like think back on like if you wanted to get into trading in like the 80s, right? Like think back on that. It's like you had to like go to fucking school. You had to get like good grades. You had to go get like a college degree in probably maths or finance. You had to get like an internship, probably earning no money at like a prestigious Wall Street firm, and you had to get all your fucking qualifications, all your accreditations, and then you probably have to work as a junior, work your way up the fucking the ladder. And like at the time, you were probably drawing, like I don't know what stage computers were at in the fucking mid 80s. They probably had some element of it, but I'm sure there was an element of drawing shit, like printing out charts and drawing trend lines and fucking shit like that. You think about John Bollinger. John Bollinger, when he created Bollinger Bands, like he didn't do it in TradingView. He did it with a fucking, if you see pictures of him, he had like a compass and like rulers, right? So I think about getting into trading back then and how gatekept that profession was and how difficult it was to get into to become a trader, right? And now it's like the barrier for entry is so low now. Any fucking dickhead with an internet connection can become a trader, but the flip side of that barrier to entry being low is that the competition is now greater than ever in a different way. The competition before was almost getting in. Now anyone can get in. The competition is in making it. It's like the difference in Ireland, the difference between so here's one for you. Here's an analogy for you boys. In Ireland, so you guys know in Ireland and the UK we have our attorneys our lawyers are split into two, right? We have solicitors and barristers. Solicitors are the guys that work with the clients. Barristers are the guys that work in court. So when you see the guys talking to the judge and making a case in court, those are barristers, right? So barristers in Ireland, there's this egalitarian system whereby everyone gets a fair bite of the apple, right? And if you become a barrister in Ireland, the Law Society makes sure that you are getting an apprenticeship. Like if you qualify as a barrister, if you go through law school, like the barrister school, they will get you an apprenticeship guaranteed, and you'll get into the system guaranteed. That's the guarantee they give you. But the grim reality is that like 20% of those guys make it, and the other 80% end up dropping out after 5 years, right? Whereas in the UK, in London, because I know this because I was gonna do this system, in London, the gatekeeping is not once you get in. The gatekeeping is at the fucking gate. It's at the door. So you can't, if you want to get an apprenticeship with one of the barrister schools there, you need to apply. You need to go to like a rigorous process, and only like 20% of applicants get in. So it's funny how that 20%, 80%, it's like the Pareto principle. It comes up, but in the UK, they stop you at the door, and you only get in if you're in that 20%. But in Ireland, it's like, oh, everyone gets a fair shot, but guys get into the system, and then 80% of them drop out within 5 years. So you still get that 20% number, right? Why the fuck was I talking about this? How do we get to this? I genuinely can't remember what I was talking about. But I hope that's an interesting anecdote nonetheless. Terrible streamer. Can't remember what he's talking about. Correct. Track ID. This is if you use the music command. Resident Sleeper. Do you ever watch the show Suits? Yeah, I watched like the first 2 episodes. I didn't like it. Oh, we were talking about becoming a trader. That was it. Talking about becoming a trader and how the gatekeeping for the profession has been blown wide open with tools like TradingView. We were talking about TradingView. That was it. I remember now. What's up, Jake? Space Jesus is here? Who's Space Jesus? Me? You? Follows delete the last BTC chart. Oh yeah, that was this. I don't know how serious that is, but I do think I think this range or channel, whatever you want to call it, I do think that it will resolve to the downside eventually, but that doesn't mean we can't come up here first. Like I would actually say that if we're looking at this channel, something like this is very possible. Let's even, you know what? Let's extend this over like this. Something like this is very possible. This would be, you know what one of my favorite quotes in the entire crypto space is? Biggest bear trap I've ever seen, but they won't trap me. The GOAT. The GOAT. Capo the GOAT. It's a good day for Space Jesus. Who the fuck is Space Jesus? Think back to trading in feudal Japan, drawing your own charts. Well, that's not... Yeah, I mean... Candlestick charts have existed. Feudal Japan, I don't know. Was Japan still feudal in the mid-1800s? Was Japan feudal in the 1800s? Yes, Japan was feudal for the majority of the 1800s. I retract my digression. You were right. There were probably people drawing on rice paper charts in Japan, in feudal Japan, in the 1800s. I don't think half the people in the chat were a twinkle in their dad's eye in the 80s. Yeah. Back in my day, we used MetaTrader, yeah. The M15 candle close. Yeah, but the M30 is the one we're looking at. What's up, Love Juice? Greetings from Adam Fartman. My boy. My man. Sorry if you've answered this already, but do you have any thoughts on Paradox moving away from zero fees? I was not even aware. They're moving away from zero fees. That, I don't know. Where's that news? Next. Is there a post about that? I don't have any opinions on it because I haven't really thought about it. That is news to me. Even ETH Foundation now admits on L2's scaling narrative sucks. Legit wasted 3 to 5 years on infra. Nekazar, don't forget how little I have going on between these years. What does that sentence even mean? I'll tell you what's futile trying to trade this PA. Ah, synergy. Do the trend line that connects from the lower high all the way to the top, huh? Oh, you mean like this? That's not a trend line, bro. Come on. That's a trend. We've just broken out. Or do you mean here? You mean this? That's a crazy find. No. That's also a breakout. Come on. Get with the program here. Anyway, I don't like shit like that. I think it's a little bit... I mean, I already don't like drawing a channel like this. But you can't... The thing is, right? I became a channel maxi like a year ago. I was always a range maxi, but I became a channel maxi a year ago. Because I actually saw that time and time again, man. I mean, this is not a fucking quinky dink, right? This is not a quinky dink. This is a questionable channel. Excuse me? How? How is this a questionable channel? Coinky dink, yeah. Come on, Hasbulla. How is this a questionable channel? From the 126 top? What? Bruh. That is speculative. But I don't dislike it. It's speculative, but I don't hate it. So you're saying this. It's how I make the biggest money ever. Okay. You're saying this. Right? The bottom line, why is it just sitting in the lower third of the wick instead of the low? Huh? The bottom line, why is it sitting in the lower third of the wick? Huh? Bruv. What is you talking about, bruv? What is you talking about, bruv? I like how Follows made you question your own reality. That is my job. I am a professional gaslighter. Lighter coded. Maybe I can't send images in the chat to show you. I have crypto chat open. I always have crypto chat open on one of my screens. I have a ridiculous amount of... I'm monitoring the situation in a big way. I'm monitoring the X chat. I'm monitoring the YouTube chat. I'm monitoring the Twitch chat. I'm monitoring the Discord chat. I'm monitoring multiple situations at once. Okay. Right. Okay. But sorry, he just showed me this. What's the issue here? This is trendline art, my friend. This isn't trendline mathematics. This isn't trendline science. You can just as easily make this argument. You somehow bent the channel using mind bending powers. Stop. It's not at the bottom of the wick, but it doesn't need to be at the bottom of the wick. It's like saying the range needs to be the range. Also, this wick is going to be, there's going to be like a $1,000 or more difference across exchanges on where that wick should be drawn. Are you saying then that it's invalid or that it needs to be drawn? Imagine, just for the sake of argument, imagine that Binance Perps wicked a little bit deeper here. Does that mean that you would therefore draw your channel down here? Of course not. That would be retarded, right? With respectfully retarded. Waiting on that syllabus to stock on my channel knowledge. Yeah, man, I got blasted by the team, which is fair. For not hustling enough on the syllabus. It made me want to shed tears of sadness, not tears of joy. ISM services PMI at 54. Oh, we just got news. And the M30 candle closed. I actually don't know. Did it close just? Did it close just red? Ha. Yeah, just closed red. Respectfully retarded. Respectfully retarded. Let me choose outcome. The Bears carried it. GG the Bears. The syllabus. So the syllabus, the bottom line is it, when I went into that project, I didn't realize that it would be like, you know, thousands of hours of work, basically. Of course, not just me, but my collaborators, graphic designers, etc. The bottom line is it just turned out to be a far bigger project than I originally envisaged, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's actually a good thing when you realize you have a lot more to say than you originally thought, right? And then, you know, it's one of those things where we started doing one thing and we're like, fuck it, well, let's do this thing as well. Yeah, well, fuck it, we're doing this. Let's do a macro syllabus. Let's do a DeFi syllabus. Let's expand this thing. Let's make it all encompassing, right? Let's add like methods of testing our students on various parts of the syllabus. Let's add a learning site that we can do examinations on. Let's add new roles in the, you know, this thing grew legs, right? And that's not a bad thing. I mean, like, Chroma is around for the long term, right? As long as crypto is around, Chroma will be around, right? I'm thinking about the long term. Chroma is a long-term investment. You know, we're still going to be here in. We just did our 4-year anniversary. We're still gonna be here in another 4 years and so on, right? So I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking if we're doing this, we're doing it right. I would much prefer to be 3 or 6 months late delivering something, and to have it be, you know, 110% ready and blow people away, rather than delivering something that's half baked after 2 or 3 months. So that's kind of where it is at the moment. And I think that if anyone is disappointed or annoyed or frustrated that it's taking us so long, please direct all that at me. That is completely my fault. It is my fault for being so naive about a project of that magnitude before entering into it. But that's the way it is. So yeah, the team are looking for updates. The students are looking for updates, and yeah, I totally understand. rest assured, it is being worked on behind the scenes. Just so happens that it's a lot bigger than anyone ever imagined, myself most of all. Quality over quantity, take your time. Yeah. I mean, there's that as well, but there is a huge magnitude of things. Like I shared an update in my channel a month or so ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And it was like we've done like 2 modules basically fully, like 100%. There's gonna be 12 modules, right? You know what? Pull it up, Jamie. So we have, this is where we're at currently. Whoops. So yeah, 12 modules. And like I said, the first 2 are basically finished. But just for those 2, for instance, there's like, so let me, so just for module 2, market structure, right? So obviously that's its own topic. In that topic, we have 10 subtopics, right? So 10, that's the heading. The heading is market structure. We have 10 subheadings, and in each of those subheadings, there are multiple sections. So let me say, with each of these modules, there are sections, and within each of those sections, there are subsections. So market structure is a good example. The market structure module has 10 sections. We have market structure basics, trending market structure, external structure versus internal structure, swing structure, structural correction, structural continuation, breaks of structure, trend reversals, range bound market structure, trading ranges, and structural analysis, right? So 10 sections. And within each of those sections, there are between 3 and 6, sometimes I think as many as 8 subsections, right? So this is pretty expansive, right? But like the thing is, it's gonna be, I want this thing to be a fucking encyclopedia when it comes to not just price action trading, but actually we're covering quite a few different trading styles. I mean, the whole thing is centered on the trading style that maybe I and others in the immediate trading circle trade, right? So we're not doing, let's say, we're not doing Gann theory, and we're not doing like Elliott wave, because I don't trade that shit, and I don't know anyone who does, really, to be honest. I know some guys maybe in my circle, but none of the guys in Chroma really trade that stuff. We are doing price action, we are doing order flow, we are doing some indicators, right? So it's very much centered on the trading styles that we ourselves are proficient in and can kind of give some level of expertise in, right? So that's where we're at. So yeah, it's, as I said, it's turned out to be way bigger than I thought, and that's totally fine. But that's why it didn't launch last quarter. Oh, what was the chart markup, Lorenzo? I did miss it. Will accessibility be considered for the learning disabled? I think it's going to be very intuitive to go through, actually. Like, it's extremely well structured, in my opinion. And of course, we're going to be open to feedback on that. I think the fact that I spent so long in academia maybe helps. Maybe helps, maybe hinders. But I did a lot of time in higher education. Academia. I nearly went into academia, actually. Fuck that, man. I'm so glad I didn't. When I was like 25, I really wanted to go into legal academia, and I started actually as like a entrance level job. I started like tutoring students in university. I was not good at it, man. I wasn't particularly like up to date on the fucking I wasn't particularly up to date on the syllabus or whatever. I remember I was 24, 25. Like I wasn't that long out of college. Like it was only my second year out of college. I finished college at 24. And I remember So I was teaching, like, I was doing, like, contract law, a few, like, some very basic law modules. I was teaching first years, you know, like 18, 19-year-olds. And there was a business law module. And I wasn't actually teaching business law, but one of the other tutors in my tutor group was sick one day. So she texted into the group like, hey, can anyone cover my business law module? Blah, 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 I can't do it. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. You get paid per module. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I took it over, and she sent me over some material. She was like, make sure you brush up on it before the module, you know? And I was like, yeah, don't worry, I got it. And like the fucking night before I was supposed to do it, I just didn't get around to reading up on the material. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I did business law like 5 years ago. I'll know it. It's gonna be fine. So I get in, like, plug in my USB drive, like pull open the slides, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'll just read through the slides. It'll be grand. I'll get it done. So start going through the slides, and like I'm like talking from like what I remember about business law, and I'm talking about this, like, there's this really famous act in Ireland, like a business law act. And I was like, yeah, so like the blah 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 business law act, blah blah blah, blah. Yes, and of course and section blah blah blah. And I was like, oh yeah, man, this shit is easy. I fucking remember everything. It was all coming to me. I was in flow state. And there's this girl sitting up the front like the whole time the tutorial, and she's like this. She's like, she's just not shaking her head. And I was like, what is this bitch's problem? Like, like 10 minutes into the lecture, and she's like, she puts up her hand, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. She's like, excuse me, Mr. Follis, but wasn't all of this repealed by the Business Law Act 2014, right? So this is like 2015 that I'm giving this tutorial, and my heart just sank. I was like, I had no fucking idea. Yeah, there had been this completely new act, completely new education, completely new. Everything had been repealed by this new act, and like that was the whole idea of the module, was to teach them this new act. And I was like, oh yeah, but you know, it's important to know what came before. And I was like frantically like going through the slides trying to find where I was supposed to go. Yes, that was it. That was my brief experience tutoring kids. Not very good at it. I also went to a party several months later. It was my friend's younger sister's 21st birthday party. I was 24, 25 at the time, and my friend's younger sister, who I knew, was turning 21. So we went to the birthday party, and there was a girl there, and I remember she was a little bit drunk. She came up to me, she was like chatting to me, a little bit flirtatious. And after a while, she was like, I swear I know you from somewhere. And I was like, do you? Like, where? She was like, yeah, I think I've seen you around. Like, are you in? And she named the university. I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I think I've seen you around there. I was like, yeah, I'm not a student, though. And she was like, oh, shit. I was like, yeah, oh, shit is right. I remember you said there was a debate over whether trend lines should go into market structure or support. That's a great recollection. What's the verdict? What's the 2026 verdict on that? Because I know my answer to that. Do they go into market structure or support resistance? I was in higher education myself, which mainly consisted of smoking a bunch of weed while watching conspiracy videos on YouTube. Clearly market structure. Nah, bro. I think support resistance. Market structure, no. It's got to go into, because market structure is too chock-a-block at the moment. 10. There's already 10 sections. Era's Lord. Let's go. Hell nah. It's gotta be. Your sincerity has captured our hearts. Thank you, Lorenzo Felix. I appreciate that. There's a guy called Master Riddler. Knew him before joining Chroma. Saw him in Chroma chats once. He lives for Elliot Waves. I remember him, yeah. He's a American guy. He was a weightlifter, right? Because I remember he tried to sell me weightlifting equipment. That's a very random story. Yes, he tried to sell Inquisitor, right? Synergy with the star viewer. Eris Lord, my man. Let's give you free sub. Yeah, he tried to sell me weightlifting equipment. He was like, Follis, you lift weights, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, I might be able to get you some weightlifting equipment. I was like, okay, like, cool, yeah. I assumed he meant like, I don't know, his friend was giving them away for free or something, and then no worries, man. Then he DM'd me, he's like, yeah, man, I can get you 20% off. I was like, motherfucker, that's like the standard discount rate that you get on fucking online if you spend more than 30 seconds on the website. Synergy. Synergy. Here we go. Star viewer. Boom. Boom, baby. What is this, Eric? No. Okay. Real talk. Sorry, what was the discount only for 1 hour? What was the chat request? Oh, it was pump. Jesus Christ, I did not see that at all. What time frame? What time frame? Bam. 20% off and 20% commission, yeah. Wow, this is a bad looking chart. It's been a while since I looked at this chart, actually. I did not realize how terrible it truly was. Oh, what time frame? What time frame? H4. If it's the H4, we'll do medium time frame. MTF. Pump. This looks absolutely terrible. Really, really bad. At least we have something here to work with. It's not much, but it is something. That always pleases me. The aesthetics of those fucking whatever they're called. Arcs? Is that what they're called? Still no real break of structure here. Right, if we take this as the market structure. Let's just do this, even though it's technically not. Boom. So yeah. You know what? I want to get rid of those. I want to make them. This is a fucking banger track. Isha banger. Isha banger. Why aren't these highs? Why isn't this low and this high included? Why did I not include these swing points? Someone in the chat, tell me. Seeing the flawless charting skills in real time, yeah. I could have been a lawyer, but instead I decided to do this. I'll tell you what though, I don't dislike these levels. So let's assume if we get something like this, we get some kind of acceptance at this level, which would then break the structure. Then I think if we get something like this, that's when you can start really looking for reversal longs here. God, this is a banger. Either of those would make sense. But we need to see a break of structure first. Which means higher high followed by a higher low. Whoops, this should be just a high. LH. What happened to LH? Anyone remember LH? I think she was from Singapore. She is from Singapore. Very good trader. Kind of went dark mode for a while. We need to see a high question mark. High low question mark. This is a nice chart. Good for market structure purposes. Now, why aren't these included? You sold your kidneys at the top. There you go. HH bros anti-Semitic? Huh? What does HH mean? She's still around. We saw a post. There you go. He's a juice maxi. I don't even know what y'all are talking about. If I speak, I'm in trouble. Is that it? She's still around. Yeah, I haven't seen her much. HH is the Austrian painter. Oh, there you go. What's up, Kaizen? What about a drop from channels EQ? Do you see any chance of that scenario? Yeah, for sure, for sure. So you're saying something like this? Yeah, absolutely, I could see that. Especially with these equal highs in play. That would also be a kind of a, I don't know, maybe like a head and shoulders type pattern. Retest this as supply. Yeah, I could see that. The Austrian painter is a wild way of putting that. No one answered. No one answered. Internal structure, correct. Yeah, I like that chart. I like that chart. It's good, good example of structure here. So what would this reaction be here? What am I looking for here? There's a very specific emoji I need for this. Can anyone help me? What emoji am I looking for? Hezbollah got it. Exactly. A unicorn. Does anyone in the chat not know what a unicorn is? Might be easier than asking people. It's an extinct horse. Exactly, Synergy. Yes. Except by making a joke, you have revealed that you think that unicorns existed at one point or another. In attempting to make a joke, you have revealed accidentally that you think that unicorns went extinct. Chef Sked says, what is a unicorn? A unicorn is when we'll do it right here. It's when a breaker block combines with an FEG. I believe I have a lot of Says I should have a video covering unicorns, right? Okay. So the interesting thing about this kind of let me put it this way. Yeah, I like this. So this is good. So when you have, fuck it, you know what? I've done this wrong. I've only gone and fucked it up. I've only gone and fucked it up. Let's do more like this. Yeah, that's a little bit better. It's still a little bit janky, but it will do for our purposes. Still a little bit janky. That's okay. A little bit of jank never hurt anyone. So, and again, this is like a very basic version of. We used to call this order flow when I first started. When I first started trading price action, we used to call this order flow, but I think that's very confusing now given what order flow actually is. But you see that with each, let's imagine that this is a bearish order block as well, right? This is bearish structure respecting bearish order blocks, right? Each time you get a bearish order block, you get a reaction here from the swing point that gives you a new low, right? This is very standard. This is actually what we're kind of seeing here, right? Obviously, it's not as clean, but it never is. Now, what is the first time that You love the thumbnail of this video. Yes! It's a good one. I can't post it, it's too big. Let me, there we go. Are we all happy now? I mean, I haven't aged a day, really. Haven't aged a day. I'll post that in Chroma chat for the newcomers. Give them some exposure to some old lore. So, the first time that the bearish order block does the sequence of bearish order blocks does not get respected, the first time the price breaks through it, right, which is here. What is happening then? What happens at this point? Does everyone know how breakers work? At this point, our bearish order block turns into a bullish breaker. That's what breakers are. They're failed order blocks, right? So then you even get some induced lows here, and then you retest the previous order block, now breaker, from the other side, and it gives a bullish reaction. This is how breakers work. It's the whistle stop tour on breakers and what they are, right? A unicorn is just when you get if I could draw one. A unicorn is just when you also get, do this one in green, neon green. You just also get an inefficiency, an imbalance, fair value gap, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? And the breaker occurs in confluence with that zone, right? I also like to say that the best unicorns have induced lows here. That's why I drew them, because then you're sweeping liquidity into that POI, right? That to me is the high quality unicorn breaker. Does that make sense? And this is it. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Boom. Terrible track. Worst part of that mix. I wanted something different, actually. Can Ish have something different? June Deep. And Juna Deep. That's a good one. Bro didn't let me gamble. What was the gamble?
She's also previously written.
Numix, you're going to Catania this Sunday. Damn, I'm jealous. So that's the unicorn. And that's what I think we might be getting right now on pump. Does that make sense? That's a good one. That was a good chart request. So in the pump example, price pushed through both internal and external structure, created a breaker at the same time as the FPG. Yes. Well, so here's a good example of I don't actually use breakers that much in the strictest sense of the term because they often don't form very cleanly. What I do use is support resistance. So like in this example, right? Get rid of your fucking breaker. Don't worry about the breaker. Look at support that is resistance that flipped into support. So this was resistance previously, but it has been flipped into support. That's how breakers work anyway. It's super similar to support resistance. Like a lot of people say that supply demand are completely different things to support resistance. I disagree. I think from a purely market mechanics point of view, a lot of the time you're looking at the same thing, just coming at it from a slightly different angle. Like doing the trading syllabus and you actually realize like so much like inefficiencies in price action are just single prints in order flow. What are they? Poor highs in order flow are just equal highs in price action. There are lots of similarities, lots of instances where people are just looking for the same thing. That makes more sense. Yeah, exactly. Don't get caught up looking for the... I'm using the breaker here as an example, but you don't need to get caught up looking at the breaker necessarily. That makes sense? New York Open candle. We did it already, brah. We did it already. First 30 minutes. Very jealous. 6-hour set of the go. Let's go, man. That's sick. GG. Thought you saw a video where you talk about this, but also the golden pocket fib levels. Yeah, man. You use that for confluence. And like, if you pull this, where is my long, right? It's coming right at the 6.2 fib. Screenshot this. Why don't you take live trades? I don't do much live trading anymore. The thing is, if you get caught in a live trade, I'm trying to keep the streams about 90 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes. If you get caught in a live trade, then they often run. Thing is, like, scalping on the ultra low time frame, especially on altcoins, is just a coin flip. Trading on the H4 is much more manageable, as this chart is, but can't exactly trade on the H4 live on stream. You said with the unicorn setup, you aren't always expecting that dip into the breaker. You said with the unicorn setup, you aren't always expecting that dip into the breaker. What do you mean I'm not always expecting it? 24-hour stream. I used to do 12-hour streams. Man, I used to do crazy. I used to do crazy long streams. The old 12-hour streams, yeah. I used to like go and eat my dinner and then come back. Back when TP or SL, yeah. I genuinely feel like Well, first of all, there was more people in crypto back then. Like, do you remember the streams used to get like 400 or 500 simultaneous viewers? So it's easier to be like, it's easier to stay on longer then. And also just like, Chroma was smaller back then. Like my business interests in crypto were were lesser back then. I was less involved in, like these days, I can't afford to stream. Like if I stream for, you know, 6, 7, 8 hours, that's a whole day gone, which I just can't afford anymore. Bears won. You were watching back then on YouTube? Nice, man. I don't know what you mean, Bullet Felix. We're gonna call it there. But if you want to clarify, no steps. Iran rejects ceasefire. Is that why we're dumping? Iran rejects ceasefire. I thought you mentioned you don't always get the dip into that FPG area. Well, I mean, yeah, of course you don't. Of course you don't always get it. There are no always in trading, man. Sometimes you get this, and you just get that. Of course you don't always get that dip. But that's one of the things you need to be content with if you are a trader. You don't always get your entries. Your setups don't always play out. Oh, that's a certainty. You always get liquidated. Ivy dip. Reset the follow. Right, boys. Yeah, 1 hour to 90 minutes is perfect. It doesn't wreck my old bones for the rest of the day. It means I can actually do some work. And on that note, boys, we are going to call it there. Screenshot this. It's gone. It's gone in 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, we're going to jump out. Gonna call it there. Thank you very much for joining today. Pretty good one today for what is a European bank holiday. Good numbers on YouTube as well. I think we had like 25 watching, which is good. Which is good for considering I'm not really pushing the YouTube thing that hard. But on that note, we have a new YouTube video coming tomorrow. It's on auction market theory, which is very, very important. If you have been struggling to trade BTC in this range, auction market theory is your friend. Full video, it's like 10 minutes long, which is pretty long for the brain-rotted, low attention span Gen Z that consists most of my audience. But for those of you who are willing to sit down over your morning coffee and watch something, it's a good one. Talking through the current range and how I've been trading it. Last thing is the birthday promo. I got 2 DMs this morning from guys who did not avail of the birthday promo last week, and they said, is there any extension? There's not really supposed to be any extensions, but if you didn't get it last week and you want to do it, we can keep it open for like another day or 2, but that's the absolute max, right? We try to be pretty strict with these things because otherwise it's unfair on the guys who are on time. So if you want to use the birthday promo, we're running. We'll run it for another 24 hours, or yeah, we'll run it until the end of tomorrow. How about that? That gives you, that's 48 hours longer than we said, but it's absolutely terminado by Wednesday. Can't run it any longer than that. We got a shit ton of new signups, which is great. Happy days. Yeah, as I said, I think it was a good time to do it because a few other groups closed down last month. Won't name any names, but yeah, I think we got 1 or 2 guys who said they had come from those groups, which is good to see. Good to see. And yeah, as I said earlier in the stream, the big thing for me this quarter is getting as much progress done on the trading syllabus as possible. That's my goal. That's what I'm working towards. So I will hopefully have an update on that for you guys later in the week. And the last point I want to make is I have a big announcement coming tomorrow. What's it going to be about? Who knows? You'll have to wait and see. Big announcement. One of the biggest announcements of the year. coming tomorrow. So watch this space. I'll have a post on X about it and a post in Discord about it. And that's it, boys. Thank you, Hezbollah, for joining. Thank you, Microsailor. Yes, exactly. Your old school Aiken Arrow? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah Blan. Oh, you just came? Damn, bro. Thanks, Nico Decky. Enjoy Catania if we don't talk again, bro. Nice, Aiken Arrow. I'm getting married. Exactly, Pimadine. Yeah. She proposed to me. She got down on one knee. I often, that's a good litmus test for what kind of guy you are. Would you be insulted if your girl proposed to you? Would you be annoyed? Would you feel emasculated? I think I'm a pretty progressive guy, but I think I would feel emasculated. Yeah, getting proposed in this economy. Don't worry, it was a fake diamond. Fake diamond. You guys see the diamond market, by the way? You'd be happy? There's a lot of guys in the chat that would be happy to be proposed to, yeah. Good morning, Third Eye. Yeah, exactly. All right, boys, we're going to call it there. We're back on Wednesday for the next stream. We will see you then. Yeah, we have our roundtable tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we're doing our next stream. And we're streaming on Friday as well. So until then, try not to get liquidated. And we'll see you next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Love you. Bye-bye.
How do I know if I'm dreaming? How do I know if I'm dreaming?
Do you know what my dreams are? Robin. Robin, can you see my dreams? Can you see my dreams?
Four cockroaches playing poker on your lap. Is that a dream?
Yes. That's not mine. That's not mine.